weird to look at a stat sheet for this defense and not see any sacks. What was the issue with the lack of pressure today?
It wasn't really an issue, to be quite honest. It was more of a run game. If you can't stop the run, there's no reason for them to pass the ball. I mean, yeah, exactly. You can't stop the run. There's no reason for them to pass the ball. So that's pretty much limited our opportunities to get to the quarterback. So.
What do you think was the difference that allowed Elliott to run the ball as well as he did?
The difference?
Yeah, what do you think allowed him to run?
I haven't watched the film, to be quite honest. I don't know yet, but it's probably us. Most likely it's us. I doubt if it's any complete dominance over one of our guys. Probably just like a mental error, anything. But something that we just got to get back to the drawing board and just fix.
Darnold said that you guys were pissed off, but in a good way. Would you agree with that? And if so, could you expound on that?
Yeah, I would say that. This is the first time we hit adversity. And, it's lost one game. I'm not going to trip up. We got a long season. But it's just how we bounce back, to be quite honest. So when we get back into this building, we finna get after it.
How did you feel like you played personally, Brian?
I feel like I did what I could. There's some plays that I wish I can get back. But, you always feel like you do better after the play has already happened. Like, you feel like, I should have did this. But in that moment, I was doing my job. That's all I could do. So it's all right.
How did it change not having two starters in the secondary to what you guys could do in that front?
It hurts not having those guys, but at the end of the day, it's the same responsibility for the next guy. They just have to do their job, and we got to keep going next man up. So we can't really harp on the guys that we're missing right now. We just got to get it right.
Do you think Hassan getting dinged a little bit early in that game was a factor?
Do I think it was a factor?
For you guys in the defense, yeah.
In a sense. Of course you would want your guy to be there with you, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's always next guy up. So, and I feel like we got players that's behind us that can play. So I don't feel like any of the slack is missing. We just got to get back to the drawing board and fix these problems in our run.
I know some players felt like that was a fumble, the Jeremy Chin tackle.
Oh yeah.
Did you kind of feel like maybe that possibly got to y'all, or did it? How did you feel like that maybe affected y'all if it did?
It's ball. That's not my call. So I have to leave that up to the refs. They felt like it wasn't. Like we had, I think, 2 back-to-back where there was fumbles or whatever, and they got overruled. So at the end of the day, we just got to keep creating them and let the cards fold how they fold. That's not our call.
The fact that they rushed 245 yards, how alarming is that for you guys?
Alarming? It's not alarming because I'm not going to let one game define us. You feel me? Like, I feel like we just got to get back to how we win. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to let that define us. But it is embarrassing, and it's a disappointment to me because I take that personal. You feel what I'm saying? So that 245 yards isn't pretty. But I'm not going to let that define us as a defense, to be quite honest.
One or two more guys, if you have any. That third quarter when they scored 23 straight points at one point, what did it feel like on the field as they were making big chunk plays?
It's frustrating. Anybody can see that. It's frustrating. But, man, you just got to keep battling. Like, you can't get too down. You can't get too high. Like, you got to keep battling. And I felt like that's the only positive, really, that I could take out of this game is that out of all the stuff that we went through that third quarter and all those scores and they running the ball, everything not going our way, you feel me? Like, turnovers, everything. I don't think that we stopped battling. And that's what made it a one-score game. Like, it could have got ugly, to be quite honest. You feel me? But that's the only thing I can take out of this game. So we just got to answer adversity and get back to the drawing board.